Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Beth.
That's a nice picture.
What picture?
I see a group picture of everybody.
Oh,
this one,
yes. Good. Thank you, Andrew.
yeah, all of the Toastmasters pictures when we used to have.
Yes, he's running the slideshow. I had swapped screens and I didn't see the slideshow.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So if Jerry's not going to be, I understand that Jerry won't be here tonight, and I think at the last couple of meetings as VPM, he's reached out to the guests, and I know that based on the meetup where we are expecting maybe at least 2 guests. There were 2 that RSVP'd yes through meetup. So who in Jerry's stead will reach out to the individual guests when they show up with you know, the link to the digital folder and offering to help with any questions and that kind of thing?
So he's not going to make it tonight?
Correct. He said that that's why he had a conflict, and that's why Unu's doing the DCP celebration.
Okay, I wondered about that. Okay.
So I can reach out to the guests if you'd like, or you can, Larry, or you know, however you want to. Or Andrew's going to be busy hosting the meeting, so we're not going to have him do it. You've got a couple speaking parts, so I'll be happy to reach out to the guests.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That might be a little.
Yeah, because my only speaking part. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Because I did it before when the first time I was host, I was also doing the blue folder messages to the guests, etc. So I've done it before, so I can do it tonight.
Back in the happy days when we could actually meet.
Yeah.
Well, we're a little light here for 6:25.
I agree.
There's Leanne.
Hi, Leanne. It's funny when we have the pictures from Zoom meetings, for a minute you do a double take and think it's your actual Zoom screen.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Chris.
There's everybody. Hi, Bakari.
Hi, Lisa. Hiya.
Hi, Karina.
Thank you.
Hey guys.
Oh, and there's Andrew. How you doing, Andrew?
Good, how are you?
And Leanne and Karina.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back, Larry.
It's good to be back.
That's true. We have our president back. Yay.
Larry, I've been wanting to ask you a question. I sent you a text, but I guess you get so many texts you didn't see it. What do you feel about realtors photoshopping listings?
That's a loaded question. Specific thing, because people have gotten sued over that kind of thing. But yeah, go ahead.
So next door to me, the guy that redid that whole house, he's selling, and his pictures are photoshopped. The pictures on Zillow, the listing pictures, there is no yard. It shows a bright green grass with yellow rose bushes.
Oops.
Okay, so here's the precedent.
Yeah, my neighbor did the same thing. She had horses and there were no horses in her backyard.
Where it gets the agent in trouble is showing features that don't exist. And so a great example is it was a pretty big lawsuit in California where people were doing virtual staging, and they were virtually putting fireplaces in houses that didn't have fireplaces.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is
So
not that
when
bad.
you
Hi,
misrepresent
everybody. I'm
property,
going to
yeah,
go to a Toastmaster
get in
question.
trouble.
You guys do that realtor stuff later.
Yes,
Excuse
Christine.
me.
How
He
is,
asked,
Well,
How
wait a
about-
minute. I thought this was socialize part
No,
of
it
our
starts
There
at
you
meeting.
go.
6:30 tonight.
Well, no, socializing starts at 6:30. The actual meeting
how is
starts at
the-
6:40.
how is that scrolling screen happening? I love it.
It's a slideshow.
And is that
Oh.
sharing your screen? Like, how did that come to
It's a
be?
PowerPoint slideshow with that's programmed to auto advance after 5 seconds for each slide, except for the leader
Like the
slides
one-
take
That's
10
a good
seconds.
Go.
picture.
Is
That's
it
good
on your
there, Christine.
computer? And is it a share your screen? How are you getting it to show on?
Yeah, Andrew's sharing his screen.
Oh,
He's running the.
Andrew. Okay. all
Yeah,
right.
he's running the slideshow.
Good
Unu
job,
had built
Andrew. Love it.
Unu had built the slideshow for her inspiration at our last June meeting, and then I took her slideshow and I added several things to it, and then I gave it to Andrew and I asked him if he could share it from his screen since he's the host.
And look,
love it.
guys,
Good
no
job.
mask.
Good
No one is
job.
wearing a mask. Yay.
Yay.
Real people.
Right. We actually saw each other.
That's
Those are the
funny.
days.
Yeah.
But there are great pictures from Zoom meetings too. So, it was
Oh,
nice
I
seeing each other
know,
in
but-
person, but
Yeah.
I remember that meeting. I think we only had one of them there.
Nice.
Oh, that brings back great memories of different meetings. Yeah, I can remember each one of the photos that comes up.
Mhm.
Love you guys.
and there's Jerry's son in that one. And Karina's in one of these.
Oh,
Kitty.
And I think Larry's cat, Leanne's cat. There's Karina. Karina's in this one.
Hi, Dominic.
Now I can see him.
How you doing? How you doing?
Hi. Are you a visitor today?
Yeah, it's something it's something I want to get into. Like, this is for public speaking, right?
Yes, sir. This is the place to be.
I've been wanting to come in here for like years now, and I've been so nervous. Now I'm finally just doing it.
Yay!
for you.
Congratulations.
And there's no need to be nervous because we're all friends here and we all have a great time.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. Now it is a special meeting tonight because we're doing an induction ceremony for our new board of directors. So it's going to be a little bit different than normal, but I still think you're going to understand the flow of it and what we do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And our next regular meeting will be next week on Thursday. So a week from today, we'll have a regular meeting, which you'll probably get more out of. I think it's great you're here today because you'll meet us, you'll get to know us. We're a fun club, but this is, like Lisa said, this is not a normal meeting. This is what we do once a year for our new officers.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we've been doing Zoom for a while, so we kind of have it down, and we've got some great hosts and people to do some great work on Zoom. So I think you're going to enjoy it.
Mhm.
All right, awesome.
And a regular meeting, which we hope you can come the next time, has 3 parts to it. One is members sign up to give prepared speeches. And there's also an opportunity for anybody who wants, even guests, to practice impromptu speaking. And then there's an evaluation section where other members will give feedback to the people who gave speeches.
Oh, wow.
And we're actually going to do a table topics activity tonight. And Dominique, do you go by Dom or Dominique?
Dom's fine.
Dom, you're welcome to participate in table topics tonight. If you want to, you don't have to. We won't pressure you into doing anything you don't want to do.
Okay. What was table topics again?
It's impromptu speaking. It's one of the 3 parts of a regular meeting that Christine mentioned. At a regular meeting, we have prepared speeches and we have evaluations of the prepared speeches, but we also have table topics, and that's where you're given a question and you have a few seconds to think about what your answer might be, and then you give your answer, and you want your answer to be a minute long if you can make it that long, and no longer than 2 minutes. So it's a 1 to 2 minute response on the fly, by the seat of your pants, to a question that you don't know what it is ahead of time.
Okay, I might give it a shot.
All right.
Good. Well,
Awesome.
guess what, Dom? I'm head of the table topics tonight, so I'll make sure. And I have a special question for you. So there you go.
And Lisa will call on at least 1, if not more people before you, so you see how it's done before she gives you the opportunity to do it.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Cool. So not bad, Larry. Larry and I were a little nervous. It was 6:20, 6:25, and there were only a couple of us, but we're up to 12 people, so I think it's going to be a good meeting.
I love the pictures.
You look like you're a TV newscaster, with a great background, looking so put together. Oh my gosh.
I'm professional.
You are. We need to raise your salary there.
Very nice. She got dressed for the occasion. I have a dress shirt on, but it's kind of nippy in here because it's raining.
Raining?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you?
In Virginia.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There we go. Now I can see everyone.
Okay. And Miss Anwu, how are you doing?
I'm doing very great.
Thanks.
Here, the weather was very nice, and I got a little drive during my lunch break, and it was really nice.
It was nice here during the day. It was very sunny, but we've been getting like these storms that come in and out, and it'll rain for a little bit, and it'll thunder, and then all of a sudden it just goes back to being the way it was. So that's always nice. And Miss Lisa, you are happy today, and you have great energy. I love that.
I'm always happy when I get on Frederick Toastmasters.
Yes.
If I'm down in the doldrums, I always look forward to this, and there you go.
Me too. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm
It
so
is.
glad that we can do this because I tell you, um, working and being on call this week and having all the stuff to do, it would have been really hard to have to leave work and get in the car
Oh,
and
yeah.
drive all the way to Frederick and say hi and then come back. So I'm looking forward to this Zoom meeting being the same for a while. And
I
Miss
don't even have to put
Louise.
shoes on. Yay, I'm barefooted. But don't tell anybody, okay?
I haven't worn shoes in a really long time.
I know, it's a secret.
No, Beth, you must be out driving your car.
No, believe it or not, my son has been driving it regularly because when you have a machine like I have, you can't let it sit for too long. So he does me the favor, quote unquote, of driving my fast sports car at least once a week. And I have only driven it a couple times in the past few months. So I do miss it, but the last time I drove it, there was a ton of traffic. I don't know why there was a ton of traffic, but there was. So I do miss driving it, but no, I'm just hanging out at home, working on my deck every day. I do my work from my deck and barefoot like all the time.
And your hair's grown so long too.
I've decided even after I just go back to going to the salon, which I will not do yet. I think I'm going to keep it long, so I actually like it. So. It's weird. It's different.
We have someone else here that just logged on. Oh, Erin. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
Hello. Yay, just made it.
Excellent. And I just noticed Andrew posted the agenda in the chat window, so anyone who's joined not by phone should be able to get a hold of that if they need to.
Thank you.
Dom, have you joined us by phone or by computer?
I'm on computer. Yeah.
Okay, terrific. So you should be able to open the file. We know that there's a limitation with Zoom where if we put a file in the chat, if you're joined by phone, you don't get it. But if you're joined on a computer, you can see it. So there's a PDF file there, and that's our agenda for tonight.
Okay. All right, cool.
Just a heads up, 1 more minute.
Thanks, Andrew.
Love the slideshow, very nice.
There's a collaboration between Uno and myself.
It's always really nice when you were able to take pictures and stuff like that. We did the same thing at our club. Every time that we did a meeting, we took pictures, even if it was just a regular meeting. So
Yeah,
last year.
That's what these are. These are all just the end of a regular meeting.
Oh, so that's cool.
Oh, it's like his in the middle of winter.
I don't know, man. Where we are, they keep the rooms really cold. So this is my go-to jacket all the time at work. I have a nice shirt on, but I'm always cold. So I think people would not know who I was if I did not have the sweater on at work. They wouldn't know how to find me.
Yeah, I think Leanne's always the one that likes to get cold. Oh my goodness. You are so silly, Tom.
That's what I was looking.
You're not.
Just chilling out here, just chilling out.
That is great.
This hot weather.
Yeah, we'll be complaining about the cold weather next.
When it comes.
Soon enough.
Yeah, it's never happy. It's either too hot, too cold. Spring or fall, I like, but
you're a nut,
not the others.
The problem
I get that cold with everything.
Oh my goodness.
Well, at least you didn't come in your swimsuit with the ocean behind you.
No, you would not want to see me in the swimsuit. Thanks.
No, we dare you to do the Speedo one too.
Oh, funny.
Okay.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Go for it.
All right. Here's the gavel. I'm going to hit it.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. I'd like to now call this meeting to order. My name is Andrew, the Sergeant at Arms. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Frederick Toastmasters Club. To start things off for us, please welcome our presiding officer, Larry.
Well, welcome everybody, and welcome to my office. You see my little decoration, see my little bonsai back there. It's of course plastic. But anyway, yeah, welcome. We're ready to start a brand new year. I think this is exciting. We certainly have some challenges. I'll be talking about that when I address our vision for the coming year. But yeah, I just want to welcome everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us. It's always exciting when we bring in new officers. And I will also comment on that when I speak a little later. So again, welcome. And with that, we are back to who's our meeting. Andrew is our meeting host. So turn it back over to Andrew. Andrew.
This is the first time for me being a host, so it might take a second to get the hang of it.
No problem. No problem.
So I'll just explain what my role is. I'm going to be taking care of spotlighting people, whoever has the stage, muting, unmuting people, whatever the need might be, just to make sure that the sound and—
I can't hear you.
Yeah, something happened to your sound there.
Oh, how about now?
Now,
It's
fine.
better.
Okay. Just making sure that you can see and hear people who have the stage. And that's just what I'll be taking care of this evening. Next on the agenda is Unu, so I'll pass it over to her.
We clap a lot at Toastmasters.
Yes, we do.
This is my time, and I would like to share my screen first so that we can start. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I would like to start with a quote from Oprah Winfrey. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate.
Excellent.
Celebrating achievements makes our life happier and giving more smiles, which I love. And this is what this session is for. Toastmaster International provides 10 unique goals for a club should strive to achieve each year, which is called DCP, Distinguished Club Program. And when we achieve 5 goals, we get Distinguished Club Recognition. When we achieve 7 goals, we get Select Distinguished Club Recognition. And when we achieve more than 9 goals, we get President's Distinguished Club Recognition. And guess what? Our club last year achieved 9 goals and we get President Distinguished Club. Yay!
Excellent.
I would like to acknowledge our past Vice President of Education, Jerry, which he couldn't make it tonight, but he did an excellent job making this happen. So let's give him applause. Even though he couldn't hear us, I think his spirit will hear us. Historically, we've done a really good job on this. From 2005, we always get Distinguished Club recognition, and we get President's Distinguished Club by achieving more than 9 goals 6 years in a row. When I said we have 10 goals and we have achieved more than 9 goals almost every year, you might think, well, maybe this is not a big deal, but it is not true. If you see in more detail, there's a lot of contribution needed to achieve each goals. We have 6 educational goals, which includes legacy program and pathways to which needs members to finish their CC or CL or levels in pathway to achieve goals. And also we have 2 membership goals, which needs 4 new members and 4 more new members to get these achievements. And we have one training goal, which needs more than 4 officers being trained twice a year, which we did last year. And also we have administration goal, which we need dues on time and officer list on time. So I would like to give a big special thanks to all the members who contributed to make these achievements.
Excellent.
You might hear this sentence a lot. Frederick Toastmaster is the best club in the world. This is not just an exaggeration. We have a proven data for this. So we can be proud of ourselves. Let's keep being awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Excellent.
I will give my control back to our hosts.
Thanks, Anu. And next on the agenda is Christine with the recognition of the mentors.
Thank you, Mr. Host. Toastmaster members have a long history of supporting and nurturing each other through mentoring. A mentor offers encouragement and guidance to a fellow Toastmaster. A mentor shares experience, wisdom, and knowledge, while the protege gains a foundation for building school skills and meeting goals. Mentoring can be a rewarding experience for both the mentor and the protege. I would like to recognize our club mentors. Although our mentors are of all ages, professions, and backgrounds, there are 3 things they share. 1, a love of Toastmasters and a greatness for the richness it has brought to their lives. 2, they care about their fellow Toastmasters and want to see them succeed in both Toastmasters and in life. And 3, they have a willingness to help. I would now like to recognize our club's mentors for their dedication to our club and their proteges. First, Beth May. Hey, Beth. Jerry Stevens, although he's not here.
Yeah.
Joe Hoffman. Oops. I haven't seen Joe for a while. Larry Riggs. Leanne Nazardi. Srinivas Vangari.
Yeah, Srinivas.
Anu Kang. And me. We are looking for new mentors, and when considering, know that you do not have to know all the answers. You'll have a support system. You'll learn a lot more about Toastmasters and pathways and helping somebody else. And to qualify as a mentor, all you need is to complete any level 2, review the Pathways Mentor Program, which is a project outside of your regular pathway program, and prepare for your readiness. We'll provide you the tools to launch a successful partnership with your first protege for a 6-month assignment. We're also putting together a mentorship committee. Our club places a high value on mentoring and want to make it a priority. It's a win-win for both mentor and protege. The committee is open to everyone. We'd like a mix of mature members, what do I want to say? Of both experienced, we'll say that, of both experienced Toastmasters and new Toastmasters. A new Toastmaster brings a different perspective, and what we want to do is really make the program good and to see what's working and how it looks from a new member position. So thank you again for all of you who were mentors and who mentored me. And I will turn back to the host, Andrew.
All right. Thank you, Christine. Next, we have Beth with the guest speaker introduction. So,
Thank you, Andrew.
Beth.
Tonight, we have our division director, Karina Miranda, with us. She has graciously agreed to do the officer installation ceremony and to also give us a speech as a guest speaker. Karina will be giving us a speech for, we actually didn't plan to have a timer for this meeting. It will be approximately 5 to 7 minutes. And the name of the speech is Island Girl. Karina?
Excellent. Thank you. Would it be possible to share my screen so that I can show some pictures with it? And I think I can. All right, let me go over here and see if it's going to share something. I got a lot of stuff going on. Is it sharing something? Oh,
Yes.
yes, it is. Excellent. So this year I'm going to be the division director, and I wanted to visit clubs and get clubs to know a little bit about me. And I put this together to kind of like give everybody an idea of my life and what I've done so far. So my name is Karina. And did you know that Karina is the name of a queen, a nebula, which is a cloud of gas and dust in outer space visible in the night sky, or a constellation in the southern sky, or the Latin keel of a ship? And you might be wondering, was her mother a stargazer and that's where she got her name? And actually the answer is no. While she was pregnant with me, she watched a Mexican soap opera, and I was named after the main character. So a little fun fact there, right? So I'm accustomed to speaking to a technical audience. Those meetings are very boring, and the Visio diagrams are sometimes so convoluted that I literally put people to sleep. So as a result, I joined Toastmasters to learn how to collect my thoughts and speak to the point while improving my writing skills. So a little bit about me. I was born in Cuba, hence I consider myself an island girl. And my warmest recollection of my life on the island was my 6th birthday. My mom actually rented the zoo. I was very fond of clowns, so my birthday cake was a big sheet of cake with a very ugly clown face on it. So you might think my first trip aboard was in the US in 1969 when I actually came to this country, but I traveled to many countries during my childhood. My mom was married to a Cuban dignitary, therefore we were not in one place long enough to know what it was all about. Those adventures or gypsy lifestyle stayed with me throughout my years and formed the person that I am today. All of my close friends call me the dream catcher, as my house is covered with memories of many of my escapades abroad and all the music venues that I have gone to. Love music. So when I did get here in 1969, our thoughts were, oh my God, it's going to be different in America because the streets are paved with gold, right? Well, unfortunately, we landed in New York in 69, where New York was recovering from blackouts, riots. Shootings were a daily occurrence in the newspaper, but you had to read about them in the newspaper, which we did not. Charles Manson was the serial killer of the day, and our first winter coming from an island delivered us 8 feet of snow. So as far as I'm concerned, not much has changed. It's just on steroids now, right? So my travel and my love for numbers carried me to the next phase of my journey. As the owner of a trucking company, and yep, I drove an 18-wheeler for about 5 years. I can say that I have driven 40 out of the 50 states with my kids in tow. I'm sure it's probably considered reprehensible nowadays, but it was okay to throw the kids in the back seat and drive at 125 miles an hour with 7 cars on the truck because it was a wide open road. So my boys learned to count blue cars before it became a song. And they knew how much longer it would be to Pedro's on the 95 border before they were 3. It was always, are we there yet? Are we to Pedro's yet? Because they knew they were going to have a fun time there. So when the Smokey and the Bandit movies, along with the convoy movies of the 80s came out, I would complain. Hey, I do that now. I'll look for cops so the rigs can keep going. I circumvent weigh stations when we're overweight. Yet all I get from my troubles are a bunch of suspended licenses and tickets where I have to go and pay a bunch of fines. So, you know, trucking was not as glamorous as they put it on those movies, I'll tell you that right now. So after doing that for 5 years, it was evident to me that my children needed to start school. So that made me slow down a bit and brought me to my next gig. I got a job working as a lockbox account for a bank in Florida. And I would reconcile the night's deposits. I would make trades. I literally had 3 jobs in one. And I got so good at it that I could do the calculator with both hands. But it was a temp job, you know? And finance those days was such a chore that if you ask anybody, you know, you wanted to be in finance, it would be like, oh, no. And I really didn't know if I wanted to be locked up in, you know, a building after being on the road all that time. But, you know, the numbers bugged kind of bit. And I moved to SunTrust. And there I prepared corporate taxes for a while. And then I went into the trust department and I literally peddled the trust products for the bank in Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee for 6 years. So I can tell you that to this day, I can still drive those back roads with my eyes closed today. So now it's the mid-90s and the family's traveling to many places like Tahoe and San Francisco, just kind of like looking where we're going to lay our hat. And we settled here in Virginia. My husband at that time got a job with the Department of Defense traveling to Europe, and trust work was really scarce in this area. So I transitioned to be a senior accountant at a telco in Chantilly doing accounts payable. And the funny part there is we kind of like disputed our accounts more than we paid them. That company really did not like to pay their bills. So the controller, being a great friend of mine, her parents were also my realtors. When the telco was sold and moved to Canada, I went back to school and I learned computers. So little did I know at that time the financial world was coming to grips with this next depression. And besides, I was ready for a change. So I put myself through school doing medical billing at home. And then I emerged with an associate in networking, and knowing full well that nobody would hire me with no experience, you know, let alone fix a computer. Because remember, in those days, computers were kind of pricey. So I kind of felt like the future was great. So to see the light, I went back to my finance roots and I contacted my coworker from the old telco days and I asked her for help. So within days, not only did I have an interview with the VP of technology in the company that she was working at, she said, if that doesn't pan out, I'll hire you as my senior accountant again. So I thought, well, it's got to be a small company. I'm already interviewing with the VP of, you know, the VP right away. It's like, what the heck? So to my surprise, it was a worldwide company that did data mining. And they wanted me to actually go and start offices all over the world. So I spent about 8-9 years traveling all over the world. And as you can see, those are some of the places that I traveled. And these are some of the places that I traveled also. And again, the future looked really bright. I spent the next year working with the VP, opening up offices for sales in the workplace worldwide. I was everywhere, Spain, Germany, everywhere. I felt at home. I got to meet so many people. Plus my education was put to work. And when I was home, which was actually seldom, I would give parties that resembled the United Nations because I would get people from all over the world to come here. And they would jump at the chance to come to America. Plus, I had a place to visit if I wanted to go, you know, visit them. So now I felt like the island girl was a globetrotter. So while preparing for a 3-month tour to open a new office in Portugal, the unthinkable happened. September 11 materialized, and the world had changed. I cringed at the thought of being on a plane. The world economy tanked. The company went through hard times. And then my job turned from giving people beautiful places to work to closing the offices that I had spent so many hours designing. And I really could not go back and tell all these people who had become my friends that they no longer had a job. So my world once again, I felt grew small. I was torn. I felt like my wings were broken. So I got the courage up and I quit my job and I went to Florida to see my family. And I figured, well, I'll take a little time to reflect. And as I took trips to the islands with my goddaughters, thinking, what am I going to do? 2 years slipped by. So I knew I had to move on because I was not being useful. Plus, I was actually running out of money. So I did what I always do. I picked up the phone and I asked for help. And one of my cronies from the old job, they had transitioned to Navy Federal as a security engineer. And I felt, well, I did not want to work at another bank again, but okay, I'll just give it a go. And believe it or not, within 2 days, I had my first interview and then I officially started 2 weeks after that in the department. I started on Check 21, a project that had failed there a couple of times, but it needed to actually complete. And it was the first time that I had done something from completion to end and actually won an award for. And I felt very good. So once again, I felt like the future was bright and my wings were coming back. So in conclusion, I'm still doing IT project work. I travel every so often for work, but mostly for pleasure now. I still take vacations when time or money permits and visit my old friends. And again, the unthinkable has happened, a pandemic. I feel like I have come full circle on my travels, and the future, once again, is kind of looking dark. But I have hopes. I have a huge bucket list of places I'm going to go and travel. And when I do, the island girl who now lives on a mountain can be found at the local zoo reminiscing about that ugly clown cake. Thank you. Excellent. Hope I made the time. I didn't keep up with it.
Only a few minutes behind. And you can keep the stage if you want to move right into the officer installation.
Oh, excellent. Yes, I will share this one. The Toastmasters installation. So thank you. And I want to first say the outgoing club officers' names and positions. And I know some of them are not here, but I just wanted to acknowledge them. So for Sergeant at Arms was Leanne Izardi. The treasurer was Ruth Mosley. The secretary was Bakari Simba. The VP of Public Relations was Anwu Kang. The VP of Membership was Larry Riggs. The VP of Education was Jerry Stevens, and the president was Lisa Ripion. And we want to thank them by saying that the Frederick Toastmasters Club 1082 thanks you for the work during the 2019-2020 Toastmasters Club timeline, and congratulations for reaching President Distinguished. That is actually something that you should give yourself a round of applause for. And for now, you are all discharged from your duties and responsibilities as officers. So now, in my duties as area director, and I do want to thank you for this privilege, I'm very happy to be here to install the officers of Frederick Toastmasters Club 1072 and to prepare them for the challenges that lie ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club strong, dedicated to helping people from all walks of life to speak in an effective manner, listen with sensitivity, and think creatively. So I will ask each of the officers to hold that virtual gavel that you see there as a symbol of leadership, as I briefly describe the challenges that you must meet and the responsibility that you will fulfill. So for the Sergeant at Arms, Andrew Strickland. As the club Sergeant at Arms, you'll be responsible for club property management, meeting room preparation, hospitality, and chair the social and reception committee. Some challenges you might encounter are keeping up with the club roster, getting to the meeting ahead of time to set up the virtual room when it's not available. So the question is, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Excellent. And with that, we go to their treasurer, Ruth Mosley. Is she here?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to say with her? Well, as the club treasurer, they're responsible for the club's financial policies and procedures and controls. The club treasurer receives and disburses, with the approval of the club's all club funds to Toastmasters, all financial obligations of this club as they are due, and keeps an accurate account of all the transactions. Provide financial reports to the club and to the executive committee quarterly and upon request, and shall transmit the account and all undistributed funds to its successor in the office at the end of the club's treasurer's term. And now we'll go to the secretary, Erin Bozas. Is she here too?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Erin is the club secretary. You're responsible for club records and correspondence. You hold custody of the club's charter, constitution, and addendum, and all other records and documents of this club. You'll keep an accurate record of the meetings and activities of this club and of the club's executive committee. Maintain accurate and complete roster of individual members of this club, including the address and status of each individual member, and transmit the same to the successor in the office. Provide notices of meetings as required by this Constitution, and immediately notify World Headquarters of Toastmasters of any changes in the roster of individual members. Will you perform these duties to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I will.
Excellent. Now we'll pass the virtual gavel to the VP of Public Relations, Leanne Izzardi. As the club's VPPR, you're the fourth ranking officer and are responsible for developing and directing a publicity program that informs individual members and the general public about Toastmasters International. You're also the chair of the Public Relations Committee. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Excellent. And the virtual gavel will now be passed on to the VP of Membership, Jerry, who's not here, but will read his duties. As the club's VP of Membership, you are the third ranking club officer and responsible for planning, organizing, and directing a program that ensures individual member retention and growth in club individual membership. The VP of Membership chairs the Membership Committee, serves as one of the club's representatives on the Area Council, and shall take no action binding upon this club without either specific prior authorization or subsequent ratification by the club. And I know that he will do a great job because he's been doing that so long. And now for the VP of Education, Anwu Kang. As the club's VP of Education, you are the second ranking club officer responsible for planning, organizing, and directing a club program which meets the educational needs of the individual members. The VP of Education chairs the Educational Committee, serves as one of this club's representatives on the area and district councils, and shall take no action binding upon this club without either specific prior authorization or subsequent ratification by this club. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Excellent. And now we go to the president, Larry Riggs. Toastmaster Larry Riggs has been elected the club president of the Frederick Toastmasters Club 1082. You are its chief executive officer and are expected to preside at all club meetings and at all regular and special meetings of your executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It's also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, division, district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. So please accept this virtual gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to office. The gavel is a symbol of the power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. So use it wisely and with restraint. You're a member of your team as well as a leader. A team is more than a collection of people. It's an emotional force rooted in the feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. So work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club which everyone is proud of. So will you, as president, accept this challenge and perform your duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Excellent. So it is now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed into the offices to which they have been elected. So I will now address the club collectively. The growth and development of the Toastmasters program in the Frederick Toastmasters Club 1082 depends largely upon the actions of this group. On your honor, as members of Toastmasters, do you all pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year?
We will.
Yes.
Excellent. So congratulations and good luck in your endeavors for this year. And do not forget that you're not in this alone. Your area, division, and the district leaders are here for you at any time. So please reach out every chance you get and make us work for you. Thank you. Excellent.
Well, the next section is me. That is the table topics, which is usually my favorite section. And this time it is entitled Moments of Truth. Now I want to give credit where credit is due. Our VP of Education, Anu Kang, and our own Area 43 Director, Beth May, came up with this idea and also wrote the questions. So I'm doing the delivery, but I do want to let you know that they did compose them. But what they did do is, if you see here from Toastmasters International, it is a Moments of Truth handbook. And what this is basically a recipe for making strong clubs. And that's exactly what we want to do. We love our 1082 club. We think it's the best in the area. We have a great time, but there's always room for improvement, always room for growth. So in lieu of that, in trying to figure that path out, we want to ask not only our guest, which we've already talked to, which was Dom, but also our members to give us some insight. Remember, this is off the cuff, 1 to 2 minutes. And again, if you don't have anything to say after 30 seconds, we'll go with it. Okay. So this time I am going to call on people. Yes. I'm going to put people on the spot. Now, if you totally don't want to do this, let me know. Okay. So Bakari, you're up first.
All right.
Okay, love Bakari. So here's your question, Bakari.
Yes.
What's your favorite meeting role and why? Or what role are you afraid of and why? So let me repeat that. What's your favorite meeting role and why? Or what's the role you're most afraid of and why? Go for it, Bakari. You're up.
All right. I'm going to start from the role I'm most afraid of. I think it takes quite a bit to be the president of the club. And the reason I say that is just the standards that have been set by the past presidents that have had interactions with being at the club. I mean, you go in there, they're very polished, they are very prepared, they do a very good job, and they lift everybody's spirits. You may go there not quite feeling very well, or you're down that particular day, but these individuals are able to really lift you up. So that's a role that I don't think I'm there yet, but probably will work towards being a president of the club someday. But it takes quite a bit to get there. The other role that I enjoy is the same role that you have there, being the Toastmasters, being the Topics Toastmasters. That's it's an interesting role because you pretty much you pick the topics and you call on people to speak on virtually anything that they need. And what it does, it causes, it forces, not actually forces, but it prepares you to think on the fly. Being able to speak effectively and respond quickly. And a lot of times people are not willing to put their hand up to go ahead and speak. But with a little bit of practice and prodding, you're actually able to do that. So that's something that I really like to enjoy. And I thank Lisa for picking me up and giving me the opportunity to speak as the first one to go over this meeting. And I will add to an announcement I'll make at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bakari. Thank you for sharing. The next person I'm going to call on is Tom. Are you still freezing, Tom? Where are you, Tom? Let me find you. There you are. Oh, uh-oh. Is that chocolate milk? No. Okay. So
No,
here's
it's a special elixir that warms my soul.
Okay. Okay, that's chocolate milk. So here you go. Here's the question. I'll say it twice. What is the most interesting table topic question you've ever encountered, either seen or answered? I'll say it again so you can think through it. What is the most interesting table topic question you have ever encountered, seen, or answered?
Just in case, I can be the timer.
Okay. Thank you.
Wait, what are you actually saying? Do I go too long with my table topics?
No,
I need a timer?
No.
Okay. So I think no one particular question stands out, but there are questions that I really like. And the ones that I like are ones that are thought-provoking, ones that can make me recall things in my own past, like from my childhood. And when I think about those, I'm immediately put back in time. And usually it's a good memory. And when that happens, I get that flood of emotions that come back, and I like that. And like right now, I'm thinking of a memory when I was a little kid. I had a friend, his name was Patrick. And Patrick and I, being the little kids that we are, we like to experiment with all kinds of different things, necessarily things that weren't very good to experiment with, like lighter fluid. Lighter fluid has this fun ability to catch on fire, of course, when you light it. Well, we were behind the house one day and we were squirting it into a little can. And when we did that, you could light it on fire. Well, at one point, there wasn't enough left in there. And my friend Patrick, let's say it was my friend Patrick, squirted some more in the can, but instead of going in the can, it splashed up next to these trees that were behind the house. And the trees were dead inside and whatever, and they caught on fire. Well, the next thing was we had a whole bunch of these coming down the street, and we're freaking out and we're running around, and I run into the house and I go in the basement and I'm hiding. Well, the firemen put out the fire. It wasn't that big a deal, but I was terrified that I was going to get into a lot of trouble. And what I realized at that moment, when my parents came home, my dad came home, was I didn't get in trouble. I realized that they actually loved me and they cared about me. And we had a discussion about what we did and what we should not have done. And it was a good moment for me, not a fear moment, not a punishment moment, but a moment where I realized my parents loved me and they just wanted me to learn from this. And that was just something that I experience when I have all these different table topics here at Toastmasters.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you. And we still have some time. So I'm going to call on Leanne. Where are we, Leanne? And I've lost you. Oh, there you are, Leanne. Okay. Here you go, Leanne. What was the best speech evaluation you have received and why? I'll repeat that. What was the best speech evaluation you have had and you received, excuse me, and why?
We're talking 4 years of speeches here.
Yeah, well, I can think of a couple.
Gosh.
You can make it a conglomerate.
Yeah, probably a conglomerate.
Okay. I'll do that for you.
Usually it's when I need to be pushed in a certain direction, or it's a really well written speech. I like to write, so I do the writing part really well. It's the giving the speech, and I do remember this one. I don't remember who the evaluator was, but I thought my posture was really good, and I thought it was really casual, and I was doing something with my feet, I think, and I think it was a she, said that my posture looked really nervous and agitated, and I thought I was really calm, cool, and collected. So that was interesting. I know that different people, I mean, the different perspectives of all the different evaluators that you get over the years or the course of your speeches, it's amazing how they pick different things up. And even my last one, I think Bakari thought I said balloon instead of bloom. And a lot of people, over the computer, it sounded like a 2-syllable word. And maybe because I was trying to emphasize it, it sounded 2-syllable. So even learning stuff, how you sound on the computer has been interesting. There's always something to learn.
Okay.
But I never get nervous. I look forward to each evaluation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that insight. Now I'm going to call on Dom. Are you good for this, Dom? Or do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I feel comfortable, but everything that these people talked on, I wouldn't have been able to.
I know, so I have another question for you.
Okay.
And it was written by Beth and Unmoved. So here we go. How were you feeling before you joined the Zoom meeting tonight? And has those feelings changed after you joined? Have you gained any insight into what Toastmasters is and how it can help you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say as soon as I got on the meeting, I think I was like a little nervous before, but once I got on the meeting, I was fine. And as far as it helping, You know, I haven't been here long enough to know, but I'm kind of excited. I definitely want to become a better talker, and kind of like sometimes I say things and it just kind of comes out, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't mean that, and it doesn't sound too good. And so that's something I hope I could get better at here. And yeah, I definitely think it could be you. I think you guys could definitely teach me a lot of stuff. So does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Dom. And we do. We interact with each other. And like Leanne said so succinctly, getting evaluations from different people gives you different insights. And everybody picks up something different from your speech. And it's all uplifting. It's done in a very positive manner. So thank you, Dom. And I still have a few minutes. So I'm going to go to Srinivas. Are you there? There you are in your holiday island environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So here's your question, Srinivas. How should members' achievements be recognized within the club? So if someone achieves a different level or acquires a new skill, how do you think that we could really celebrate that within the club, or should we?
I think that's a good question.
And that's
so
why
within
you have it.
within the context of Toastmaster educational goals, we have these succinct levels and different achievements. But beyond that, I was thinking have a change in perspectives, how the narrative went on from evaluation perspective, from giving speeches. If you can have some kind of a small 1 minute slot in the club meetings, and have doesn't have to be well planned, but somebody, if any other member noticed some change, and or even if you want to share something that what you felt about the meeting, and also actually what you discovered yourself in terms of giving speeches, giving evaluations. Hey, I learned this way. If anybody can share back and forth, maybe that's a way to giving back to the club as to how they felt, as well as coming back and recognizing that. So it's a little informal, apart from the formal Toastmaster education. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes we can dedicate that time slot as to overall. I know we do that with the guests, but if you can do that at the whole club level, then share something that not part of the formal structure, so that everybody can take away something.
Right. Well, thank you for that. That's a good suggestion. Thank you, Srinivas. Winfei, do you feel comfortable answering a question?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Now, have you visited other clubs, Winfei? Have you been to another club?
No, just club and Power Master, just 2 clubs.
Power Masters, right. That's what I thought. So can you give us an insight into Power Masters and maybe some suggestions that you can give to our club? What was your visit, their meeting as with us, compared to us? Can you give us some insight into that?
Yes. Well, okay. Thank you for this question. Power Master compared to Fred Master, Toastmaster, I think we have a relatively smaller group. Yes. And also I joined that Power Master first because my friends introduced me here, and my friends here, and makes me more like comfortable to talk because I'm a little bit shy, and I think it helped for me. And I think the environment is very supportive. Can you imagine that the first meeting role I took in the Power Master is the Toastmaster. So it's very challenging, that I like take a brief step forward to take that role, and after that I feel more comfortable to give like taking other small roles, or even I have just give my like icebreaker speech like in Power Master, and now I feel more confident now, and people like are very friendly and give us, but I think just very different. And your club also have very creative ideas every time. And I think it's very different experience, but this both of the club that I like and I enjoy, and I'm just like working with Jerry and like with my membership application for this club. So I'm going to join you, and I'm very looking forward to learning from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Wenfei. Thank you. Thank you for that insight. And I still have some time, right, Mr. Host? I'm good. Okay. Well, now I'm going to ask Louise a question. Okay, Louise? Let me think. Is there more that the club can do to address your developmental needs or other members' development needs? What do you think? How do you think we can improve that within our club?
I think we do a fantastic job with developmental needs. I feel like I'm like the person that when I first started, where I only saw people once in a while, and I think, how could you not come every meeting? And that's where I feel like I am right now. So I'm in kind of a lull the last year, but it's been a busy time, so I can't blame that. But all the opportunities are there. I can't see that you can add any more. We reach out, I get emails all the time. I think that's, can't think of anything else you can do. It's a kind group, everybody's friendly, and I feel like I've made a lot of lifetime friends, by being in this club for over 5 years now, seen it grow and change, and I think everybody's doing a good job.
Well, thank you, Louise. Thank you for that thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to call on Aaron. Are you up for it, Aaron? Okay, here we go, Aaron. Do you have a mentor from our club? And if so, how has that helped you? Let me repeat that. Do you have a mentor or have had a mentor from our club? And if so, how has that helped you?
Well, lucky me, not only that I have had one, but two mentors so far. And they have helped me tremendously, not only in the area of public speaking, more importantly, I must say, is to help me in general how to overcome the inner voice that kind of prohibited me from speaking freely. And that was really the main challenge coming to Toastmaster in the beginning. And I really enjoy having that personal time with the mentor one-on-one and talk about things more personal and have that safe space to really express, some of those kind of struggles. And as we all know, one of the greatest thing about Toastmasters meeting and the speeches is that we get to hear feedback. So having a mentor, it's just that additional one-on-one feedback that really get to the heart of things, and just that bonus input helped a great deal. And so I cannot say enough. Just like Christine said, the mentorship program has been wonderful. It was a lifesaver, especially for newbies who just started, just like when I did over a year ago. Knowing that having someone there to guide you through, there's a lot to learn, a lot to understand, and right away, Toastmaster, our club, was able to connect me with a mentor, and then started having those conversations and really helped me to grow in a much faster speed. So it has been great, and I'm so excited that maybe someday soon I can also contribute as well.
Okay, thank you, Aaron, for that insight. Thank you. Thank you. And I think I have time for one more. So I am going to call on, is Chris still here? Where's Chris? Oh, there you are, Chris. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, Chris. What are the benefits of participating in Toastmaster events outside club meetings, such as contests or conferences? I know you've gone to an international conference before, so maybe you can share that with us. What are the benefits of participating in Toastmasters events outside the club meeting? Oh, I can't hear you. Can't hear.
You're mute.
There, unmute. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Topics. Madam Topics Master. Every time we do table topics, and you would think after 4 years this wouldn't happen, I feel like the kid in school and the teacher's going to call on them for an answer. And you're looking down, hoping they do not make eye contact with you. No, that's all right. Well, you picked a pretty good one. Some of my favorite events outside of club meetings are the officer trainings.
Yes.
That's where you get to meet other Toastmasters who are doing the same officer roles that you are, and also experts in different aspects of Toastmasters. And I mean, every time I go to a district conference, I get something out of it. And yes, I did participate in a speech contest. That was a big step for me, and I did enjoy that, although I was still scared to death. I think I did really well and probably should have won, but I didn't get to vote for myself. And
it was a good speech.
Thank you. And I did go to one international conference, which was in Vancouver, right, Beth? Yes. And that was a lot of fun. That is thousands of Toastmasters from all over the world that come together, and you get to see the parade of banners and watch the international speech contest, some of the best speakers in the world. So anytime you have a chance to go to an outside event, something outside of the club, you'll love it. You'll always get something out of it. Thank you, Madam Topic Master.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Well, I've enjoyed the moments of truth, and I do want to thank Anmu and Beth for creating some really stimulating questions and doing all the work for me. And she just said, yeah, Thomas May said this year's conference is free, correct, Tom? So I am going to turn it back over. Oh, and Beth just said registration's now open. So there you go.
It's online and free, so no
What's the
excuse to
date?
not go and check it out.
August something?
What's the date?
It was on the 24th to the 29th, something like that.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I am now going to turn it back over to our host, Andrew, so then he can move on with the meeting. Thank you, Andrew.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. And now I'm going to pass it to Larry for the vision and mission for the new year. Larry?
Thank you. Yeah, there's a couple of areas that I'd like to talk about as far as our vision for this coming year. One, our core values, which are integrity, service, respect, and excellence. But I'd like to put those in a frame of reference, if you will, and that is innovation. And the reason I say that is, here we are. we're in Zoom everything. And it does present some issues to some of the seasoned Toastmasters who are resistant to this at all, not to mention any names, you know, but I think the idea is that we have to continue to grow. We have to continue to be flexible with whatever happens. And I have no doubt that when we move back to where we actually see each other face to face again, it won't be the same as it was. And I think that's a good thing. And I really believe that that type of growth has to happen, because There's no such thing as being static. That's an illusion. If you try to remain static, you're actually going downhill. And the sad part is usually it's so slow that you don't notice it. So the idea of constant improvement, constant examining what you're doing is a critical element of a club growth. Now, I believe that we have an exceptional group of leaders coming in. I think we had an exceptional group of leaders before too. We have a track record of that, and I'm going to address that in a minute. But I believe that we will learn and grow together in new roles. And here's what I mean. I mentioned in our last leaders meeting that I don't want to see people confined to the exact definition of their role, because we're a team, which is the next part I'm phasing into. And in a team, we help each other. There are some of us that are going to maybe in a position that are lacking some skills that other people might have who aren't in that position but could help us. And I think that's an exceptional opportunity for personal growth and for growth as a team. I love the idea, Christine, of a mentorship committee. That's fabulous, because that's bringing in input from everybody. It's not just one perspective, because one perspective can get pretty old. And I will tell you, I believe that my role and my commitment to officers and the entire club is to do everything in my power to bring out the best in you and to each of you and to empower you to do that. And so let's talk a little bit about teamwork. As I said, we are a team, and I think we have a track record of doing that. It was interesting when Una was showing the slides. If you looked at our excellence in production, there was a dip there in 13, 14. And I can tell you what happened. I remember it very vividly because I watched a president's team totally fall apart. People that were staying on the team weren't really committed to their role, and some people left the team. And I felt terrible for her, because that young lady, and I don't think any of you were here to remember her, was an exceptionally hardworking president. And she did a great job, but she was hampered because most of it fell on her shoulders. But I think the rest of that graph showed that was an outlier situation. That was an anomaly. That's not the way we function. We function where we do help each other, or we do encourage each other. And we've often said that we're a learning lab. And I think that it is great. Now, this is, it's coming across as a compliment. Please take it that way, Andrew. You're taking on your first role as the host here in our officer induction. So it's like all eyes are on you. It's not like a regular meeting, but you took it on, and yeah, a couple things happened. It's okay. It's cool, because that's the way we are. We Lisa likes to say a lot that we have fun, and we do. And oh, by the way, I'm glad we don't have a grammarian and a counter tonight too. But we are a fun club because we know how to not take each other too seriously, to be serious enough to want to see each other grow, but not so seriously that we are criticizing each other. It was interesting, and I had a little exchange with my mentor today, because I had a meeting with my coach today, and I was feeling really down. I was feeling like I let her down, and she did what I think we do for each other. She pulled up my screen, turned it around, and showed me how much my production had increased over the past year. Because we beat ourselves up all the time, which is crazy. We're here to enable, to encourage each other, to help each other grow, never to judge, which I think is a fabulous part, again, of our club, because we now have a history of having members literally from all over the world, from every walk of life. And I think that is such a testament to the atmosphere that we've all worked to create. I don't think any one person has created that. I think we've done that as a team. And that's my commitment this year. Is I've asked the officers for goals and see what they want to accomplish. And the reason I want to know that is not so I can hold them accountable and catch them to something. I want to know that so I can encourage them and say, hey, you know, I believe in you, because all of you, I believe in you. You know, I think this is the most awesome group. I am absolutely privileged. And Bakari, let me say this, because you commented about the role of president. Let me tell you, when you've got a team of officers like we have, being president isn't all that difficult because we have exceptional people in those roles, people that are willing to take up the task, whatever it is. And somebody give some encouragement to those of you who aren't officers. As I said, I'm thrilled with the idea of a mentorship committee. I would love to see that in any of our roles, any officers. I think one of the worst thing that can happen to an officer is to take your role on your shoulders all by yourself. Encourage people, recruit people, invite them. You know, yeah, ask for help from the other officers or somebody that's been in that role before. But you know, I love Christine's point. Can brand new people be on a mentorship team? Absolutely, of course, because that's fresh input. That's ideas that, you know, sometimes, and I find this in my business, I find it's in life in general. People who've been doing something for a long time get used to a pattern of doing it, and sometimes they lose their freshness. And bringing in new ideas keeps that freshness. It keeps us alive. I've always said that since I was VPM the first time and president before, is bringing in new members. That's what keeps us alive. If we become a club of the same members who do the same thing all the time, then yeah, it's stagnant. And there's a quote that I love from Henry Ford. He said, "Keep doing what you've been doing. You're going to keep getting what you've been getting." And I want to tell you, as club president, I don't want to keep getting what we've been getting. Now, don't get me wrong. I think what we've been getting is really good, but I love to see us take it up a notch. So that's my vision, my heart for the year to come, that we're a team, that we can help each other. And Don, by the way, if you want to join us, we're glad to have you help and hear your input too. Don't think just because that you're brand new to this, you don't have any value. You do. That's a tragic mistake for people to think I'm too new at something and therefore nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Well, you're in a place where we all want to hear what you have to say. So I'm looking forward to a great year at working as a team, the entire club, the officers and the entire club. And that's where I think we're headed.
Okay, thank you. Larry, I do have a question for you.
Okay, as long as it's not real estate related.
No. I know we have a visitor tonight, which is Dom, and I don't know if the blue folder has been put up. Can he access that? I don't know if anybody
probably is the best.
Yes, I sent
Okay,
Dom.
thank you.
Hopefully you saw the link. I sent 3 links. The first one was a bad one, ignore it. The second one was the blue folder. If you visited our meeting in person, if we were actually meeting in person, we would hand you a blue folder, which is why we call it the blue folder. And it has information about Toastmasters, and it has information about our club and how to join. So I sent you, that's one of the links I sent you. And the other link I sent you is our guest sign-in so that we can stay in touch.
Yeah, I copied all of them and I filled that out.
Great. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Larry.
Okay. Well, do we have anyone with any club business that we need to address before we adjourn? Okay, I think that is a no. Oh, Beth, you unmuted. Were you starting to say something?
I was going to say, I think Bakari had something to
Bakari
say.
has
He raised his hand.
Yeah, just as a point of inspiration to everybody because of all the situation that's going through. I was diagnosed with COVID-19.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and I'm actually going through the treatment. I've been through the worst of it, and I'm actually getting better. So I consider myself very, very fortunate. So anybody, I would like to tell anybody that's out there, it's very easy to catch the disease. Follow the CDC guidelines, the requirements, do what you're supposed to do, wear the mask, wash your hands, try and get as healthy as you possibly can. I can't even tell you guys how fortunate I am. There's very few people, given the numbers that are out there, I've had the cases that I have been. Last Sunday, I had very, very high fever. Then I went out to the Fairfax Hospital. I got tested, the results came out positive. And after you get the results, I mean, it kind of like really hits you down. But what was encouraging to me, I figured, okay, I'm over here. I can actually breathe by myself and I'm not at the hospital. So that was very, very encouraging because what I noticed, if you sit and get really depressed, your chest gets very tight. And when your chest gets very tight, you get confused. Am I really having the problems breathing from the disease, or am I having problems from suffering from anxiety? So you've got to be able to distinguish those two to keep you actually going. But I was very, very fortunate. I had only like 2 or 3 days of Tylenol. That's the only thing you can do. There's nothing anybody can do for you about the disease. There's nothing. They take your temperature, they tell you to take Tylenol, and that's it. Today, I just ordered a pulse oximeter so I can measure my oxygen levels. I also have albuterol, which I've already used it twice, the inhaler, but I've been very, very fortunate. My recovery is very, very good. Your system feels like it's been through something. I get very fatigued. I get very, very tired. But I love this club. It's encouraging for me to be here. It says, well, let me go ahead and sit up and be here, get to visit with everybody, and feed off everybody's energy. But I would say everybody just kind of like hang in there, do the best that you can, and we will all go ahead and get through this.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll be thinking about you, Bacardi.
Thank you, thank you. But I'm getting much, much better. I'm over the house by myself. My mother, she's traveled over to Africa in March. She's stuck over there because the airport is closed. But she's fine and everything is good. So I'm over by the house by myself. So it's good.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Good.
Yeah. Great.
Yes. So Larry, I think it's on you. I don't.
Picture.
Oh.
I screwed it up last time. This is take
Great.
2.
Great call, Leanne. Thank you.
Which is why nothing got posted, because I messed up. We're going to try again.
Learning lab, remember?
Huh?
Learning lab, right?
Absolutely. I need everybody on the same screen, though. I don't have that right now. I have Larry in spotlighted.
Okay, so the host, you're going to need to.
I got everybody in gallery view.
But I don't. Now I have Andrew spotlighted. How do I get everybody back?
In the upper right-hand corner, Leanne, there's a button that says Speaker View, Gallery View.
The upper right-hand corner.
Okay, I found it. I was clicking on the wrong gallery view. See, I'm having trouble with all this.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay. It's
Okay,
all good.
and I'm going to try and look up to, hold on. It's function and print screen, and I'm looking up. Everybody smile. And I think I got it.
Excellent.
So I'm going to try and save that on a document. So if you see it on Facebook, it worked. If you don't, I'll try again next week.
Okay.
Thanks, Leanne.
And I hope to see everybody next week.
Right, next
Alright.
week, believe me, I can't tell you guys, listen, I love my class, I have wonderful students, but I can't tell you guys how much I missed being here. I'm so happy to be back.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Yay.
Glad to have you.
All right, we'll see you all next Thursday.
Yeah, I
Yes.
hope to see you, Dom.
Sign up in advance.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys. See ya.
Thank you, Karina.
Thanks, Karina.
All righty.
Bye.
All right.